Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh wa na'udzu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. Man yahdihillahu fala mudhillalah wa man yudlilhu fala hadiyalah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la syarikalah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli, amma ba'd. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, all praises be to Allah. We praise Him, we ask for His help, we ask for His forgiveness, we seek refuge with Allah from the wickedness of ourselves and from the badness of our deeds. Whoever been given by Allah guidance, then nobody can be a misguider for him. And whoever been misguided by Allah, then nobody can be a guider for him. I bear witness there is no God worthy to worship except Allah, only Him, no associate for Him. And I bear witness that Muhammad, His messenger and His servant. O Allah, give good prayers upon Muhammad and the family of Muhammad. Give good prayers upon Abraham and the family of Abraham. O Allah, bless upon Muhammad and the family of Muhammad. Bless upon Abraham and the family of Abraham. Verily, you are most worthy of praises and most exalted in glory. Today, inshallah, we'll continue with our 50 Quran. Our topic is 50 Quranic rules concerning soul and life, or related to the soul and life. And we actually at the 36th rule from the 50 rule, and we talked about it last week, continuing our explanation. And the rule that we are talking about is actually the rule that Allah Ta'ala said in the Quran in Surah At-Taghabun, verse number 16, Fattaqullaha mastata'tum. Fear Allah, so then fear Allah as you can, as capable as you can. We talk about that this rule being used by almost all scholars when they are talking about the ruling and the capability of a person to do or to follow whatever being told by Allah for them to do. The Allah Ta'ala is actually giving something that is actually to lighten up the burden of doing whatever Allah Ta'ala told you to do. That is actually according to the capability of the person, because Allah Ta'ala created human not as the same, not same for each other. Everybody is different, everybody is unique. So the capability that you have maybe is not with your brother or your sister, and your brother sister's capability is not yours also. So because of that, Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala given us that words, Fattaqullaha mastata'tum, so then fear Allah as you can. Because when we talk about the verse 16 of Surah At-Taghabun, that is actually we also have to understand the 15 and the 14 and the 15 ayah of the same surah preceding the rule. There is actually Allah Ta'ala talking to us about our family. The Allah Ta'ala said, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O people who have believed, inna min azwajikum wa auladikum aduwwal lakum fahdharuhum. That is among your spouses and also your children. They are, some of them are enemy of you. Then beware of them. Wa in ta'fu wa tasfahu wa taghfiru fa inna Allaha ghafurur rahim. And if you forgive, you pardon, and you let go whatever the wrongness that they did, fa inna Allaha ghafurur rahim, then Allah Ta'ala is really most forgiving and also most loving towards you, towards His creature. So Allah Ta'ala told us, if there are that actually is from among our children and our wife or our spouses, that is actually making us to do the wrong thing that Allah Ta'ala told us to do. Then they actually become an enemy for us. But Allah Ta'ala told us not to be harsh with them. So you have to consider, because they may be wrong, but you have to be forgiving. And Allah Ta'ala remind after that, innama amwalukum wa auladukum fitnah. And really, indeed, that your wealth and your children is actually a test from Allah for you. Wallahu indahu ajrun azim. And Allah, by His side, is all the great reward. Allah Ta'ala said after that, fattakullah mastata'tum. Then be fear to Allah in your wealth and also your children, your spouse. Be with them in fear with Allah. Means that manage them by always remembering Allah Ta'ala with whatever they do. Okay. Today, inshallah, we continue page number 225. There is actually the examples of this ruling being used in our life. The author said, وَلَعَلَّنَا نَأْخُذُ بعض الأمثلة التي تجلي هذه القاعدة. We may take some of the examples that will making clear this rule. Number one, first, أول هذه الأمثلة التي يحسن التمثيل بها هو ذلك الموقف الذي جعل النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم كلمته يقول كلمته الجامعة الآنفة الذكر. The first example that is actually good for us to make, that is actually the situation that made the Prophet, peace be upon him, to say his words that is so encompassing, and also we just mentioned about it before. That is actually the Prophet ﷺ said, "Idza amartukum bi amrin fa'tu minhu mastata'tum." When I told you and when I command you with a command, then do it, or do it as you can, as capable as you can. When I told you to do something, that is actually any command that Prophet told us to give charity, to do prayers, and do it as you can. Do it as you can. Our brother last week, he did ask, and when about the thing that forbid by the Prophet, because we know that the Prophet ﷺ always give us two things, either to command us to do something, or to forbid us from something. Is it the same between what is forbid and what is being command? We answered no. We answered that the Prophet ﷺ, in his saying, he said, when I command you with any command, then do it as you can, as capable as you can. And when I forbid you from something, then stop. Because the wording is like that. The Prophet said two things about what he command and what he forbid. Anything that he forbid by the Prophet ﷺ, you must stop. You don't say that I'm stopping as I can. No, you have to stop totally. Different with the command. When Allah Ta'ala told you to do something, you do it, like praying by standing. You can stand up in prayer. If you cannot, then you can sit. If you cannot, then you can lie down on your back. If you cannot, you can move just the upper part of your body. If not, then you can just move your head. If you cannot, then you just move your eyes to make sure that you are actually giving the signal of prayers, during your movement. So means that if you cannot do something, then Allah Ta'ala will give you the opportunity to do it as you can. As you can. Like getting up in the night to pray. If you cannot do 11 raka'ah, then do just 3. Just 3. It's actually enough. You cannot give, you don't stop to totally stop. You do as you can. But in the other part, if the Prophet forbade you from something, then you cannot say that I am stopping as I can. No, you have to stop at all, not doing it. Because like we said before, to not doing bad things is just not to do. While when you are doing things that being command, you have to get up, to go to make ablution, to go to pray, to wear your proper attire. Everything essentially must be done by by movement. For you to do something that being command. But for you to not doing things that being forbid, just not to do. Stop at all. Because it doesn't the same. Because of that, the saying of the Prophet, we must understand. Okay, what is the situation where the Prophet said, "Idza amartukum bi syai'in bi amrin fa'tu minhu mastata'tum." When I command you with a command, then do it. Do from it as you can. Faqad rawa Muslimun, Imam Muslim, narrator of the hadith, he said in his Sahih book, he narrated min hadith Abi Hurairah, from among the hadith that been narrated by Abu Hurairah radhiyallahu anhu, qala, Abu Hurairah said, khatabana Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Prophet, the Messenger of Allah, peace be upon him, was giving sermon or speech to us. He said, Ayyuhan nas, O humankind, O people, qad faradallahu alaykumul hajja, fahujju. Allah has make it an obligation for you, upon you, the hajj. Then do the hajj. Faqala rajulun. Then a man from among the companion said, Akullu amin ya Rasulullah. Is it every year, O Messenger of Allah? Fasakata. Then the Prophet Sallam keep quiet. Then the person start to say it again. He asked again. Hatta qalaha thalathan. Until he asked the Prophet 3 times. The Prophet keep silent until 3 times. And then the Prophet said, Faqala Rasulullah SAW. Then the Prophet SAW said, Law qultu na'am lawajabat. If I say yes, Hajj for every year, he said, if I say yes, lawajabat, it will be obligated. Walamma stata'tum, and you will not be capable of doing it. Thumma qala, then after the Prophet SAW said, Dharuni ma taraktukum. Let me be whatever I left you. Whatever I don't say anything about it, then let it be. Don't ask more. Don't ask more or detail about that. فَإِنَّمَا هَلَكَ مَنْ كَانَ قَبْلَكُمْ بِكَثْرَةِ سُؤَالِهِمْ. Because what being destroyed, whoever before you, that they actually keep on asking many questions. Because the question is actually sometimes the Prophet ﷺ said something to do. Do it like that. So it stopped there. You don't go into detail. Because the Prophet ﷺ, if something need to be detailed, he will say it in detail. He will detail the ruling. But when he said generally, like about the numbers of invocation or zikir, you want to say zikir about Allah, to remember Allah. Being said in the Quran, dhikran kathira, remember Allah with many remembrance, means doesn't have any numbers. So the Prophet ﷺ also said like that. He doesn't stop you, and he even doesn't didn't specify which zikir during the morning, which zikir during the night. He doesn't say exactly. He will do it. He will show by his doing in front of the companion, in front of his wife. So they will see whatever he did. But he didn't specify, even like the recitation of the Quran and the prayers. The Prophet ﷺ didn't say what surah to be recite. He opened for the companion to recite any surah that is easy for them. He said, ثُمَّ قْرَأْ مَا تَيَسَّرَ لَكَ مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ. And after that, after you have did the takbir, then recite whatever it is easy for you. So he didn't make a rule that you must recite this or this or this. Because when he says something like that, it will make a problem for some people that doesn't memorize the surah. Doesn't memorize the surah. Like in the Friday morning, normally in our country, in Malaysia, they always will recite at the mosque during the prayers of Fajar, the Subuh. The first raka'ah, Surah Al-Sajadah. The second raka'ah, Surah Al-Insan. The Prophet did that once or twice or a few times. But he didn't obligated the companion to do it. So you can do as you can. You don't force. And if the Prophet force you to do that, then you will not have a sound or accepted prayers except the way that the Prophet show you. So because of that, these things is being left by the Prophet. So that the Prophet said about the person when he asked the Prophet about, is it obligated upon us every year, the Hajj? The Prophet doesn't answer 3 times. He said, the Prophet just keep quiet. And after that, the Prophet said, if I say yes, then it will be obligated upon you. Become compulsory for you every year. And you will not capable of it. And then he said, Daruni ma taraktukum, let me be whatever I left you. I left you with no explanation about that, no detail about that. Then let me be. So you can do it. When I do it as I show it as a general understanding, then you have to understand it in general understanding. Because what destroyed whoever before you is because of their many questions. Waqtilafihim ala anbiya'ihim, and their refutation upon their prophets. Because when you ask the detail and suddenly the detail being given, you cannot do it and you start to oppose whatever being said by the prophets. فَإِذَا أَمَرْتُكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ فَأْتُوا مِنْهُ مَسْتَطَعْتُمْ. Then, whenever I command you with anything, then do it, or do it as you can. Do it as you can. وَإِذَا نَهَيْتُكُمْ عَنْ شَيْءٍ فَدَعُوهُ. If I forbid you from something, then let it go. Stop from it. Don't do it. He didn't say about don't do it as you can. No. Don't do it as you can. No. In doing what being command, yes, you have that rule. They say it as you can. So we have to know that is essentially the first example of the rule. This rule, Fattakullah mastata'tum, from the ayat 16 of Taghabun. That is actually the saying of Allah, but we can explain it through the saying of the Prophet. And we know that the saying of the Prophet came when a companion asked him too detail about something, too detail about Hajj. Is it compulsory for us every year? So the Prophet said, if I say, that it will be compulsory. So let it be. When I told you to do something, do it as you can. If you're capable to do it every year, then you do it. But don't ask me to say yes. You have the capability to go every year, you go. But if you want to say to me, because if I say it to you like that, then it becomes compulsory and you will not capable of it. Second, number 2, وَمِن تَطْبِيقَاتِ هَذِهِ الْقَاعِدَةِ, from among the application of this rule, أَنَّهُ, that is, إِذَا اجْتَمَعَتْ مَصَالِحُ وَمَفَاسِدُ, if some goodness or badness, some benefit or harm, is actually combined together in something that you want to do, but inside it there is goodness and there is badness combined together. فَإِنْ أَمْكَنَ تَحْصِيلُ مَصَالِحِ وَدَرْءُ الْمَفَاسِدِ فَعَلْنَا ذَلِكَ امْتِثَالًا لِأَمْرِ اللَّهِ تَعَالَى فِيهِمَا. If you can get the benefits and also to defend from the corruption, then we will do that because of following the command of Allah in both of it. Means that you being commanded by Allah to always get the goodness, go to the goodness, go to the benefit, and to stop the badness or to defend yourself from the harm or anything that is actually non-beneficial. So when you're capable to do this at the same time, the both thing is there. You can do both at the same time. You can get the benefit and not to getting harm. Then we do it. لِقَوْلِهِ subhanahu wa ta'ala, because of the saying of Allah, فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ مَسْتَطَعْتُمْ. Then fear Allah as capable as you can. وَإِن تَعَذَّرَ أَدَرْءُ وَالتَّحْصِيلُ فَإِنْ كَانَ الْمَفْسَدَةُ أَعْظَمُ مِنَ الْمَصْلَحَةِ دَرَأْنَا الْمَفْسَدَةَ وَلَا نُبَالِي بِفَوَاتِ الْمَصْلَحَةِ. If stopping the harm and getting the benefit. If you cannot get the both, you cannot get both. Cannot stop the benefit. I cannot stop the harm and cannot get the benefit. If the harm is bigger from the benefit, then we will surely stop the harm, and we don't care about the benefit that we lose. You lose the benefit, it's okay, because you stop the harm. This is bigger. What is bigger than that? Which one is bigger? If the harm is bigger, then you should just take care of stopping the harm, or the thing that is actually will come, a bad thing that will come from that thing, and you don't care about losing the benefit. It's like this. Okay. You want to call people to Islam. You want to call people to Islam. But during that calling to Islam, there will be two things when you want to call somebody. The first thing, that you want to make sure that they will accept Islam. You want to do that. But when doing that, sometimes, because you want them to answer Islam, you it's not necessary, but sometimes some people will throw away the basic principle of Islam, something that Allah Ta'ala command you to do, or forbid you from doing it, or relating to the belief. Some people say it's okay, we want the benefit. The people will come to us and sit with us, so we have the benefit to say something to them. If we say that, like as example, worshipping idols is wrong. If you say it's wrong, then the person will not sit with you. But the problem is, worshipping idols is not something that is actually in Islam. Something can be compromised. You cannot compromise that. You don't compromise your belief, because when you do your shahadah, you say La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah. The words La ilaha illallah, the kalimat tawhid, is actually the first thing first. You deny any idol, any deity, any God that be worshipped except Allah. This one thing that is actually from our side. Some people say that we Muslim don't tolerate others. He said that we only say that Allah is the only God, while they can accept many gods. They say our God is God, your God is also our God, then the other person also God. You know, something like this. You want the benefit of them to listen to you, but you cannot purge away or throw away your basic principle of Islam. Because the basic principle of Islam, to deny any deity other than Allah, and accept Allah, only Allah as the God that created, that being asked. You want to ask some about things, you want any things that you want, then only Allah will answer it. These things, in this situation, you want the person to listen to you, but that is the benefit that you want. But can you purge your basic principle of Islam? That is the thing that we said here. If the harm is bigger, because you cannot throw away the La ilaha illallah, you cannot throw away like that. Other than that, it's okay. You want to sit about long. Even the person, if he's actually he's drunk, or he's actually having problem, or he's actually not doing good things, you want to help them, it's okay. Give food to them, it's okay. But to accept that, to say that I also accept your God as God, this is something that you shouldn't say. They don't compromise about that. So because of that, like being said here, if the harm is bigger, because corrupting your own belief, you corrupt your own belief just to make sure that the person listen to you, that is wrong. So because you cannot get, because that, like we said, if you can go with that person, be fair with him, and actually treat him fairly and with good manners, it's okay. But to accept his saying that you must accept my God as your God, then I will sit with you. Then something is not right there, because the harm is bigger. So you don't accept that things just to get the benefit of conveying the message of Islam. Because of that, we can see that the Prophet ﷺ, 13 years in Mecca, he actually didn't compromise about that. That the only thing that the non-believers or the mushrik, the one that those who associate Allah with idols, they seeing the Prophet is so stubborn about that. Anything else, the goodness that the Prophet have as a person that is trustworthy, truthful in his saying, they really love it from the Prophet. The only thing that they cannot accept from the Prophet, because the Prophet deny their gods, deny their idols. Because of that, they cannot sit with the Prophet. They only want the Prophet to stop conveying La ilaha illallah. So the Prophet said, other than that, I can give you. This one cannot. This one, I cannot give you. So because of that, if you can do both, get them to listen to you and not purging your principles, Islamic principles, it's okay. But if you cannot do both at the same time, and you actually will do the harm bigger than the benefit, then actually he said here, dara'nal mafsadata, we will stop the harm, and wala nubali bi fawatil maslahati, and not do ever care about losing the benefit. Losing the benefit is okay, but don't do the harm upon yourself. Qala Allah Ta'ala, Allah Ta'ala said in the Qur'an, in Surah Al-Baqarah, Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah Ta'ala said, Yas'alunaka 'anil khamri wal maisir. They ask you, O Muhammad, about gambling and also about drinking intoxicated drinks and also about gambling. Qul fihima ithmun kabirun. Say to them, O Muhammad, that inside that drinking alcohol, drinking intoxicated drinks, and also gambling, there is big sin. Inside both of it have big sin. Wa manafi'un nas, but also benefits. But there are benefits. What is the benefits of intoxicated drinks? Intoxicated drinks in old days or even today, people will drink intoxicated drinks to make them forget their problems, their troubles. They drink it to be happy, to not thinking about, to not concern about anything, just being happy, for a certain times, because you cannot be drunk all the day long. You cannot be drunk all day long. But when you drink it, you can forget your troubles for certain times, for certain period of time. But after that, you will remember it again. Sometimes when being used, like doctors, when they having mental people trouble in their mental health is actually not really right, hysterically shouting and everything. What the doctor will inject the person with something to make him sleep, to stop thinking about anything. Even Allah Ta'ala is actually making the companion of the Prophet ﷺ during the war of Badr. When they are going to the war of Badr, to make sure they are calm, Allah Ta'ala make them sleep, making them feel sleepy, and all of them sleep before the war start. So it's calming. So something to calm you down. Sleeping is the best. Without you having a headache, without you drink something to lose your mind. To make sure that you are actually become calm. To sleep is better. So doctors is using that. If a person is hysterical, shouting, doesn't have a problem, mental problem, is shouting, then the doctor will inject the person with something to make him sleep. That sleeping is better. But some people using alcohol to forget their problems. Intoxicated drinks to forget their problems. Even drugs is actually the same use, being used by people like that. So that considered for some people as benefit. And gambling also have benefit. What is the benefit of gambling? You become rich in a short time. In a short time, you can become rich. You know, you gamble, you can become rich. Actually, just a few minutes, you can get more than you're supposed to get. Okay. So that is the benefit being said about intoxicated drinks and also gambling. So Allah said, in both of them, in the intoxicated drinks and also the gambling, both of it is big sin. Inside both of it, a big sin. And they also have a few benefit for the people. Wa ithmuhuma akbaru min naf'ihima, but their sin are bigger than their benefit. Their sin are bigger than their benefit. Then being stopped. Haramahuma li'anna mafsadatahuma akbara min manfaatihima. Allah Ta'ala actually forbid the gambling and also the intoxicated drinks because their harm is bigger than their benefit. Their harm is bigger than their benefit. Because of that, Allah Ta'ala told us to actually stop. Don't do it. Let me say, you want something have benefit and harm. You look at, if you can get both, it's good. But if you see that the harm is bigger, then you cannot care. You don't care about the benefit. Just don't do it because the harm is actually will not worth it for you to do it. Number 3, annal wajiba inda iradati salati at-tatahuri bil ma'. Number 3, that is actually the thing that is being obligated when you want to do your prayer or your salat. That is for you to cleanse yourself with water. Using water. Fa in adima aw ta'addara isti'maluhu. But if there is no water, the water is not there, or you cannot use the water, fa innal insana yantakilu ila tayammumi kama huwa ma'lum. Then a human must go to the tayammum, means go to the pure dirt or dust of soil that is actually clean, and then put your hand on it, and after that puff on your hand or shake your hand, then wipe your hand to your face and your upper palm. That is the way for you to start to pray. That is actually the way that you must do. That is what, like we said, fattaqullah mastata'tum. Fear Allah as you can. You are not obligated to still find the water. If the water is not there, then just change it. That is actually the best way Allah Ta'ala told you to fear Him as you can. Number 4, anna salat al-faridata salat al-faridati al-asl fiha an yu'addiha musalli qa'ima. That the obligatory prayers, the 5 times prayers, the subuh, zuhur, asar, maghrib and isya, that the original of it, in it, that it being performed by the prayer, by the one who pray, by standing. You have to stand. Because it's voluntary prayer, you can sit from the start. Even you are not sick. You are not sick, you can do it. Even though you are not sick. You can pray voluntary prayers with whatever condition you have. It's okay. Only that the reward will be half. A standing person get full. If a non-sick person pray the voluntary prayer by sitting, he's not sick but pray by sitting, then he get half from whatever a standing person get. And if this is praying lying down, then he get half from whoever is sitting. So you can pray the voluntary prayer like that. But the obligatory prayer, the 5 time prayers, subuh, zuhur, asar, maghrib, and isya, you must do it by standing. Fa in ajaza salla jalisan. If he is weak, then he can pray by sitting. Wa illa salla qa'idan. If not, then he can pray by sitting. Kama dalla ala dhalika hadithu Imran bin Husain. It being showed by the hadith narrated by Imran bin Husain radhiyallahu anhu, the companion of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He is actually have wasir. I don't know the words in English. From the rectum of a person coming back, gone out or infected with something, so he cannot sit properly, and he cannot stand up properly because the pain is there. There's word, but I don't remember the sickness. Yet the rectum came out from that person. So he came to the Prophet. He said, he have that sickness. So the Prophet ﷺ answered to him, Salli qa'iman, pray by standing up. Fa'in lam tastati', if you cannot, faqa'idan, then by sitting. Fa'in lam tastati', if you cannot, fa'ala jamb, by your side of your body. Because he cannot lie down on his back. Because on that day, they don't have the donut pillow for them to sit. So they always have either this or that. So the Prophet said, then fa'al jump on your side, on the side of your body. Wa yadkhulu fi dhalika jami'u syurutus shalah wa arkanuha wa wajibatuha. And also, he said that is the standing position. And we'll go into that, the same rule, everything from the condition of the prayers. Means that to like facing Qiblat. If you can, then do it. If you cannot, then wherever you face, you facing, that is actually that is actually in front of you Allah. You don't have any problem, as you can. All the condition, all the pillars of the prayers, or all the obligatory things that inside the prayers can be reduced as the capability that you have, be accepted. Like sitting, during sitting, if you sitting in your prayers, you know that the way that the Prophet did, there is actually shown. He will sit on his left feet, and he will stand, make it a stand. Will raise up his right feet, if you can. But some people cannot sit like that. They will feel pain. They cannot bend their leg. So as you can, it will be accepted by Allah. Whatever you can be accepted, inshallah. Okay. Number 5. وفي الصيام يجب على المسلم أن يمسك عن جميع المفطرات من طلوع الفجر إلى غروب الشمس. In fasting, it is obligatory upon a Muslim to hold himself from anything that will break his fast, starting from the dawn of the Fajr until the set of the sunset, from the Fajr until the sunset. He must hold himself from anything that will break his fast. فَإِنْ كَانَ الصِّيَامُ يَشُكُّ عَلَيْهِ, if the fasting is actually difficult for him, he cannot fast. Like when I remember one of my friend, Allah Ta'ala give him a test or trial, that he have some sickness in his stomach. He cannot fast at all. Entering Ramadan, if he fast, then the last time, 2 years ago, he actually being sent to the ICU, intense care unit. You know why? Because he actually fainted and doesn't remember anything. So we actually at that time remember that we thought that Allah Ta'ala want to take his life away. So starting from that year until this year, he will not fast. He cannot fast. If he fast, he will sick. He will fell down sick. He will fell sick. So if the fasting is so difficult for him, one taqala ila it'am, then the obligation for him is not fasting anymore. He just substitute it with giving food to the poor. For every day, like if you eat rice, then it's 600 grams of rice. So for one person, one poor person, 600 grams. It's actually for a month. Then it will be 18 kilogram for you to pay for all the fasting that you cannot fast. So I told him, then you can pay 18 kilo from the start of Ramadan, because he cannot fast at all. If he fast, then he will fall sick. So the fasting is not obligatory anymore. The obligatory for him is actually to give food to the poor. Okay. So it's actually really easing up for him. For anybody have difficulties to fast, then they must give food to the poor. Number 6, fil hajj, inside the hajj. فإن مبنى هذا الركن كله على هذا الأصل العظيم. Then the build up for this pillar, because we have 5 pillars of Islam: shahadah, prayer or salat, giving zakat or alms, fasting in Ramadan, and hajj. So this pillar of hajj is based upon this great rule. That is actually fear Allah as you can, and that is istita'ah, the capability. Because the Prophet ﷺ, he said when he explaining the pillar of Islam, that is actually when the Archangel Gabriel came to the companion of the Prophet, asked the Prophet in front of them about Islam, Iman, and Ihsan. 3 questions being asked. So the Prophet answered each time, and always he said, you are true, you are being true. It's right, you are right about the pillar of Islam. So when the Prophet ﷺ said about Hajj, the Prophet said, wahajjul bait, and go to do the pilgrimage Hajj to the Baitullah in Mecca, in istata'ta ilayhi sabila, if you can or capable for it anyways. You capable, then you go. Because this is the pillar of the faith. Other than that, this one, you don't say that you're capable. No, you must pray. Only being reduced. But this one, if you're not capable, the capability is being said by the Prophet 2 things. Azad, that is your, whatever you actually, your provision. The provision for you and for yourself and the family that you left. The provision means that the food, their food, you will go for 2 months. So their food must be taken care of. And also your food when you go there. All the expenses for you and for your family that you left. That is the first thing. Zat. And secondly, ar-rahilah. You have the transportation. The means of transportation to go there. These 2 things, you have these 2 things, then being obligated for you. If not, then it's not obligated for you. So it's different with the prayers. You don't say that if I can. No. You must pray. You fast. If you cannot fast, then you pay. Zakat, if you have the wealth that reach to the threshold that being said by the Prophet, you have to pay. If not, then it's not upon you. But the Hajj being said by the Prophet, wa hajjul bait, and among the pillars of Islam is you go pilgrimage to the Baitullah. In istata'ta ilayhi sabila, if you can to it anyways. Okay, as being said by the Prophet ﷺ, being said by Allah Azza wa Jalla in the Qur'an, in Surah Al-Imran, verse number 97. 97, the Prophet ﷺ said, Allah Ta'ala said, وَلِلَّهِ عَلَى النَّاسِ حِجُّ الْبَيْتِ, and for Allah, because of Allah, is obligated upon human. Hijjul Bait, to go, do pilgrimage, to go for pilgrimage to the Bait, to Baitullah. Man istata'a ilayhi sabila, whoever capable to it anyway. Wa man kafara fa inna Allah ghaniyun 'anil 'alamin, whoever deny or reject, then Allah Ta'ala is most not needing from, is not needing to anybody in this world. You will need Allah. Allah doesn't need you. Okay. Kama sabaqa fi hadis Abu Hurairah, as being said by the hadis Abu Hurairah anhu, that the Hajj is actually as you can through the capability. Number 7, wa min furu'i hadhil qa'idati fi manasikil hajji, and from the branch of this rule, that is actually fear Allah as you can in the manasik, in the act of worship of Hajj. Anna man yajid makanan fi Mina aw Muzdalifah sakana haitsu tayassara lahu. Whoever doesn't have any place in Mina or in Muzdalifah, because you are on the 11th, 12th and 13th. 11, 12 and 13, those who do pilgrimage or do the Hajj must stay or sleep at Mina. Mina. The Muzdalifah is the night of 10. Because after you went to Arafah until Maghrib, then you left Arafah after Maghrib, then you go to Muzdalifah and stay there, sleep throughout the night. And after that, in the morning, then you go to Mina to throw the stone at the Jamrah and to shave your head and to slaughter the animal. And after that, you can go back to Mecca and do your Tawaf Ifadah. Then before night, you must come back to Mina and to stay there for 3 days. 2 or 3 days. You can do 11 and 12 or 11, 12 and 13. And you stay there, you eat there, sleep there, you do your prayers there, and only you will go to the Jamrah to throw after Zuhur. After Salat al-Zuhur. I mean after afternoon. After 1 o'clock. You go there and throw the three Jamrah. So you return back. So if you cannot get place for you to sleep there, you don't have any place to sleep, to stay there, then the person can stay anywhere that is easy or easy for him. وَمِثْلُهُ فِي مَنْ عَجَزَ عَنِ الرَّمْيِ لِأَيِّ سَبَبٍ مُعْتَبَرٍ شَرْعًا. And the same as if somebody is actually so weak from going to throw the stone for 11, 12 and 13 at the Jamrah. Actually, the place for you to stay. You know, some people have the place to stay is near to the Jamrah. Like whoever stay near the Masjid al-Khif, the Prophet stay there, but you cannot put everybody there. So the government of Saudi is actually making sure that each people that get their own place to stay. And now actually when you go, they're making it level, 4 level for you to go. Means that when you are going, you are from Asia, you will go with some people from Africa and other go there. Some other country will go from the 2nd level or the 3rd level. So actually easier. You know, when I look at that place, I imagine when almost millions, millions, if not million, 100,000 people went there, and they want to go to one place. You can imagine what will happen. Sometimes some people died by going there because they fell down, being trampled by people, being stomped by other people. So when they do it 3 layers, that is actually easier. Then also about the place. You know the place for Malaysia, they making it after the mountain. So when you are going there to throw the stone, it's actually 5 kilometers going, 5 kilometers coming back. You will walk for 10 kilometers for 3 days, 30 kilometers. The 11th, you must walk 5, 10. The 12, 5, and 5 return. And the 13th also, you go, only that, the 13th, you go there, 5. And after that, if you want to go back to Mecca, just 6.5 kilometers, go back to Mecca. Some people are actually coming back because the buses is here. Your buses is near your stay in Mina. So the walking is actually quite far. Only that when you are going, it's easy. You are not actually pushing one another. It's so wide. The walkway is so wide, so open. Only that your walking is actually around 10 kilometers for each day. I didn't know about that because they written there during you going through the tunnel. It's written there 3.5 kilo. 3.5 kilo. But our friend that actually having this type of watch, that they keeping track of their walking, they said that Ustaz, actually we walk and we see in our watch, we actually walking around 10 kilometers per day. So if you cannot go because you are weak, then it is easy for you. Just pay the dam. You can pay the dam. You can pay by slaughtering sheep, and actually it is accepted from you. The Hajj is accepted. Or you can ask your friend to throw for you. When I went there, I saw few of the assistants from the Tabung Haji. You know, they stood around the place for Jamrah. Actually, they arrange few lines of stone. Means that this for the uncle, this for the other uncle, this is for the other auntie, this is for me. So he start to throw one after another for him and for the others. You know, helping them. It is actually acceptable. ولعل الحج من أكثر أركان الإسلام فروعا تطبيقية لهذه القاعدة العظيمة. And maybe the Hajj is among the pillars of Islam that is actually have branches of practical branches for this rule. That is actually fear Allah as you can, as capable as you are. Number 8. ومن تطبيقات هذه القاعدة العظيمة في باب الأمر بالمعروف والنهي عن المنكر. And from among the application of this great rule في باب الأمر is actually in the topic of commanding or urging people to do the goodness and stopping people from doing the badness. You know, we want to advise people, do good, stopping bad. Al-Mukallafa, that the person that been burdened to do it, yajibu alaihi an yunkira bil yadi idha qadira alaihi. That he have to stop that things that is actually wrong by his hand. Start with hand. Fa'in ajaza, if he is weak, cannot do his hand, then by his tongue. Stop by the tongue, by advising. Wa illa fabil qalbi, if not, then by your heart. As being said as being shown by the hadith Abi Sa'id al-Khudri, Al-Mukharraj fi Sahih, that being produced in the Kitab al-Sahih. That said, the Prophet ﷺ said, Man ra'a minkum munkaran, whoever saw among you something that is actually not right, then falyughayyirhu biyadihi, change it with his hand. Fa in lam yastati', if he cannot, fa bilisanihi, then by his tongue, by saying. Fa in lam yastati', if he cannot, by tongue also, fa biqalbihi, and by his heart. He must have in his heart a dislike to that thing. Wa dhalika, and to not agreeing with your heart, adhaful iman, is the weakest iman. Weakest iman. If you cannot, you don't like it. Like example, inside a bus, inside a train, you saw somebody bullying others. If you have the capability to stop them, then you stop it by your hand. He bullying others, like some people these days. Some we can see it in social media. They recorded some people actually saying to the foreigner, you are not good. You are actually not here. You go back to your country. You know, the person is saying that to the others, to the other people that is actually not from their own kind, not from their own race. So start to say something like that. Then if you can stop that person by hand, or even he start to hit that person, if you can stop it by your hand, then stop it by your hand. If cannot, then by your tongue. Say, oh brother, stop. Don't feel ashamed. If you cannot, you're afraid that if you say something, they will attack you. Then inside your heart, you must have that degree of dislike to whatever happened. That is considered. This is actually, like being said, Allah Ta'ala want you to fear Him as you can, as capable as you can. Because if you look into, if Allah Ta'ala told you to stop it by your hand all the time, then you have the difficulties. Because not everybody have the same strength or the same courage. You know, courage to say, stand up. For somebody who is saying that, to stand up to that person, to stop him, not everybody have the courage. Some people doesn't want any troubles. Doesn't want to confront anybody. Because he just want to go to the market, buy something and go back. Doesn't want to have any problem. So if you, as you can, Allah Ta'ala will accept from you whatever you have, your capability. If you, the last one that you have is only to disagree with your heart, is okay. Allah Ta'ala will still accept it from you. Okay? Number 9. Fi babin nafaqat, in the topic of expenses. Fa inna man alaihi nafaqatun wajibatun, then whoever upon him any obligatory expenses, like a husband for his wife, a father for his children, that is expenses that is obligatory. Wa ajazam an jami'iha, but he actually not capable of everything. The basic thing that they have to prepare is the place to stay, their food and drink, and also their clothes. 3 things that is obligatory upon husband or father to prepare for his children. So if he actually not capable of one thing, or actually father, can you add to that the education for the children is upon the father also. You cannot teach your children, then you pay somebody to teach your children. That is supposed to happen. But if the person is actually not capable or weak from doing everything, bada abi zaujatihi faraqiqihi, he must start with his wife. And after that, bizaujatihi faraqiqihi. And then after that, also his servant that is actually under him. If you cannot take care of the servant, then let it go. First wife and servant. And after that, your children. Then after that, your parent. If they are actually not, doesn't have any expenses, you actually obligated upon you to spend for to pay the expense for them. Fal akrab thumma al akrab. Then they start with whoever near to him, and then after that, whoever near. The most near to him, then after that. So the starting is the wife. Wife is actually the first one that you have to pay for everything. Then your servant, then your children, then after that your parent, and maybe your brother, your sister, your because the Prophet ﷺ, a person came to him. He said, Ya Rasulullah, actually I already spent money and still I have more. Then the Prophet ﷺ said, spend it on yourself. The Prophet then he said, yes, I spend it on myself, but still there is so many. So the Prophet said to him, then if really is there more for you, then ummaka wa abak, spend it on your mother and your father. Ukhtaka wa akhak, your sister and your brother. Thummal adna fal adna, then whoever is near to you after them. So you start, if cannot go all of them at one time, then start with who is near for you. That is actually, that is the way. Fattakullah mastata'tum. Fear Allah as you can. Wa kadzalika zakatul fitr, and also the same as zakatul fitr, because zakatul fitr is upon the head of the family. You know, if I'm my family, I will pay for me, myself, for my wife and my daughter. If I have a parent, then I can pay for my parent after that. If I still have, I can pay for my brother and my sister. Actually starting from my own self. If I cannot pay except for myself, then I pay for myself. Not for my wife, not for my daughter. Starting with myself. Okay. Number 10. وَمِن تَطْبِيقَاتِ هَذِهِ الْقَاعِدَةِ الْعَظِيمَةِ. From among the practical of this great rule, masailul wilayati wal wadha'ifi diniyati wa dunyawiyati kulluha sigharuha wa kibaruha dakhilatun tahta hadhihi al-qa'idah al-'azimati. It is about the government, the governing, and also obligation of the religion, and also the worldly matter. All of it is actually the small of it or the big of it is actually is under this rule, this great rule. Fakul wilayatin yajibu fiha tawliyatil aslah. Because actually when you want to appoint somebody to take care of the religion or take care of the worldly matter in a country, then it is must for you to appoint the best for that particular task. Alladhi yasluhu bi tawliyatihi. bitawalitihi maqsudul wilayah, that because of when you appoint him, then the means of the appointment is actually will be done. Fa in ta'addara kulluha, if you cannot all of it, because actually the best is not there, wajaba fiha tawlatul amsal fal amsal, then is actually obligated for you to appoint who is better. You know, among the worst there is a better person, so the better person will be appoint. The lesser person will do harm, then that person will be appoint. Because you cannot, because when you have a village, a community, you must have a leader. You must have a person to govern. You cannot say that we want to go inside our place, we don't care about anybody. The Prophet ﷺ did told us, if 3 of you went out to do something, then the 3 must appoint 1 to become his leader. Because it is the way for you to make sure that all the things that you do is actually being accepted by Allah. You must pray in congregation. You must appoint somebody. You must appoint somebody. You cannot say that I'm living by my own self. Because in reality, you are not living by your own self. You still depend on others. Your neighbors is actually the first one that must get their right from you. Okay. Waqad sabaqa hadithu mufassal an kalami fil adl qa'idati. Then actually being the discussion being said when we actually talking about in Surah Al-Qasas verse number 26. That is actually when Moses came into Madian, he helped 2 girls to take water for their sheep, and after that Moses stay under a tree, feeling so hungry. He prayed to Allah, Rabbi lima anzalta ilayya min khairin fakir. I am, oh my Lord, I am towards whatever you send down to me from among the provision. I really need provision right now. So Allah Ta'ala make one of the girls that he helped to come to him and say that my father is actually inviting you to come to our house so that he can repay you what you helped us just now. So he came there. Then one of the girl told their father, said, oh father, please appoint this guy to work for us. Because this guy is actually will help us. You cannot go to take water and everything. So we actually just girls. We cannot do everything. So this man, if you appoint him to become our worker, a worker for us, it's really good. So the father said to Moses that he want to marry one of his daughter to Moses, by Moses becoming their workers for 8 years. If the Prophet, Messenger of Allah, Moses want to do 10 years, is up to him. Only that the starting of that thing is actually one of the daughters said, Inna khairal man istajartal qawiyul amin. The best that you want to appoint is actually the one who is actually strong and also trustworthy. This guy, we can see that he's strong and trustworthy. He didn't know about everything else about the Prophet. And he not being appointed as a prophet yet. Because Moses, he be appointed as a prophet after he went back from Madian, coming back to Egypt. There, then Allah Ta'ala stopped him at night, and he came to the Mount Sinai to receive the first revelation. So he is not a prophet yet at that time. So likewise, when you want to appoint somebody, the best you want to appoint must be the most eligible, the most trustworthy. If cannot, then you go to the second level, whoever is actually can be better than others. Or if cannot, then the after that, because that is the way. Then your appointment for them is actually related to the saying of Allah, Fattakullah mastata'tum. Fear Allah as you can. This is, Ya Allah, this is the best that we can choose. This is the best that we can choose from among our people. Wa bima sabaqa, for whatever passed, min amsilatin, from among the examples, yatajalla lana azimu mawqi'i hadhil qa'idati. It become clear to us the greatness position of the great position of this rule min hadha syar'il mutahhari, in this clean syara', clean command of Allah, alladhi mabnahu 'ala al-yusri was-si'ati, that essentially it pillars or it bases upon easiness and also openness, because that is Islam, is been built upon easiness, built upon openness. Fadas'alullaha ta'ala alladhi hadana li hadha ad-din al-qawim, then we ask Allah Ta'ala that who have guide us to this straight religion, and yuthbitana alayhi, so that He make us to be fixed all the time, steadfast on this religion, hatta nalqahu, until we meet him, wa yarzuqana al-fiqha fi dinihi, and may Allah give us the understanding in His religion, wal basirati fihi, and clear vision in this religion. Amin. May Allah Ta'ala give us that. Alhamdulillah. We finish here. So the 36th rule, 36th rule we finish. Inshallah we will continue next week. No, next week we will be in the 8th, inshallah. So we will not be here. May Allah Ta'ala make us meet again after the Eid to finish up the 37th, and because this is actually 50 Quranic rules. So we actually finish until 36 rule. So 37 until after that, inshallah, after Eid. Wallahu a'lam. Stop here. There's any question there? Okay. Any question? Okay. Alhamdulillah. So we stop here, inshallah. Wallahu a'lam. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammadin wa sallam. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi